Check 1, 2. Check, check. 1 and 2. Check 1, 2. We're going to try again. Check 1, 2. Check, check. 1 and 2. Check 1, 2. We're coming to you live from the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex here on the beautiful campus of the University of Mount Union. You are tuned in to Mount Union Purple Raider men's basketball here on the live stream. We have some OAC hoops here for the first time this season as your Mount Union Purple Raiders play host to the Wilmington Quakers in their OAC opener here this year. Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Attar. Alongside me, as always, is my partner Brendan Kearns, and we're going to get right into it, taking a look here at the Wilmington Quakers, who come into today's matchup 4-3 overall, fresh off a 75-45 loss at Calvin, where Dominic Farley led the way with 10 points for Wilmington as the team struggled with turnovers 16 times. They turned the ball over, shot just 26% from the floor and 8% from three-point range. BK, despite that big loss, Wilmington comes into today with a winning record. Take us through some stats that you are looking out for here today for Wilmington.
Well, I'd like to see them shoot better from the three-point line. We know from past history they've been a pretty decent three-point shooting team. 30% as a team isn't bad at all, and I think if they continue to limit their turnovers, they get some guys hot, keep them in, and they shoot well from the three-point line, they're going to have a really good opportunity to compete with this Mount Union Raiders team who puts a lot of points on the board night in and night out. Like you said, 4-3 right now. They've had a lot of high-scoring games. They need to acclimate on defense right now, especially when you have one of the best scorers in Division III right now, and alongside him some other very talented individuals. And I think that's going to be Wilmington's bread and butter. If they can play some defense and hit some threes tonight, I think they're going to keep their nose in this one.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Quakers come into this afternoon's matchup averaging around 69 points per game, giving up about 77. So we'll see if they're able to buckle down defensively against a potent Raider offense who this season, Mount Union starting out 5-0 on the year. They're averaging 91 points per contest through their first 5 games, giving up just 72 a game. The most recent matchup was a win over Worcester right before the Thanksgiving holiday, where Dante Collier led the way with a career-high 23 points off the bench with 5 3-pointers. Colin Gurley at 18 points, Jarrell Newsom 12 points and 4 blocks as the team finished with 8 blocks and held Worcester to just 29% from the floor. BK, it's been a fast start for Mount Union. What are you expecting from them here today?
Well, I think we touched on this a lot last year. They just have a lot of guys in the rotation that can do it. You know, if Colin Gurley or Christian Parker doesn't show up one night, it's anybody else that's coming off the bench, or it's Dante Collier, it's Jarrell Newsom, or Scariotis. Now we got Scariotis back, and like you said, 90.8 points per game this team is averaging, and not only that, 35% from the three-point line is huge. My only stipulation for Mount Union is a 63% free throw percentage. I think that when you look at these championship standard teams, they are much higher in the free throw percentage. They're in that 70 to 75 plus range, and that's where you kind of need to be. But Mount Union forces turnovers, hits their jump shots. I think this one will be in their hands all night long.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Raiders off to a fast start, just like how they were last year, 5-0 overall, but now with the OAC play opening up, those wins are going to become more and more important as the season goes on. We're going to take a short break here on the live stream for the national anthem, but we'll be back for starting lineups for Mount Union versus Wilmington. are back here on the men's basketball live stream, getting you ready for today's matchup between your Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Wilmington Quakers. First, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Quakers, who are led by head coach Micah Mills, and their starting lineup consists of the junior forward from Columbus, Ohio, number 0, Obed Akram, the junior guard from Columbus, Ohio, number 2, Jaden Lewis, the junior guard from Akron, Ohio, number 5, Rashid Chisholm, the junior forward from Plain City, Ohio, number 23, Gavin Heimlich, and lastly, the junior guard from Columbus, Ohio, number 30, Dominic Farley. And now taking a look at your starting lineup for your Mount Union Purple Raiders. They, as always, are led by head coach Mike Feuline, and their starting lineup consists of the sophomore guard from Pickerington High School in Columbus, Ohio, number 1, Corey Hudson, the graduate guard from Akron-Hoban High School in Akron, Ohio, number 2, Colin Gurley, the graduate forward from Twinsburg High School in Twinsburg, Ohio, number 13, Darrell Newsom, the senior forward from Canton Glen Oak High School in Canton, Ohio, number 22, Christian Parker, and lastly, rounding out that starting 5 is the sophomore forward from Copley High School in Akron, Ohio, number 24, Caleb Lorich.
It's going to be an exciting matchup. The height differential for Mount Union is going to play a factor here in the rebound scenario. I'm interested to see how physical Wilmington can get down and if their guards are going to play scrappy in comparison to ours. But definitely in this first half, at least, it's going to be a big battle inside of who can establish easy points, high percentage, and honestly, offensive rebounds are going to be big. Are you blocking out Christian Parker and Dante Collier? And it's going to be a matchup, that's for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt, so far this season, Caleb Lorich, again, he transferred in from Ohio Dominican University last year. He's a 6'7" forward who's been able to pair up very nicely with the 6'6" forward and Christian Parker, and it's made it very difficult for teams to kind of counter that down low 1-2 punch that those two have, especially as far as the glass goes. So we shall see how Wilmington will adjust to that today. But OAC matchup here, BK. We're done with non-conference play, at least for today here. First conference matchup, how important is it for the Raiders to get things going in a positive direction for the OAC?
I mean, I think it's definitely really important, especially you look at OAC tournament is huge and getting into the actual NCAA tournament. But, starting off 5-0, this is going to be a really good start for them and a really big jump, especially once you go play some of the top-tier teams in the OAC. When you get in those tougher stretches on the road, this is going to be an important win at home, secure the first one, take a deep breath at the end of the day.
So Mount Union will be in their all-white, Wilmington in their all-black uniforms here. Parker will jump here with Gavin Heimlich. Opening tip, one here by the Raiders. We are underway at the MAC. It's Corey Hudson now here on the perimeter. Swings it over to Colin Gurley. As Wilmington comes out here in a little bit of a zone. Christian Parker, though, goes right into the middle of that zone. Up for the layup. Can't quite get it to go. Rebound to the Quakers. So Wilmington with it here in the front court.
I don't know if Mount Union's the team you want to be playing a zone against. High three-point percentage team.
It's Dominic Farley taking his time on the perimeter, gives it over to Jaden Lewis. Lewis now hands it off to Akram. Akram tries to get it over to Chisholm, who's just able to do so. Back over to Akram. He steps into a wide-open three. Off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound, though, to the Quakers. That put back, no good. Another chance, no good. 0 for 3 on that possession. The Raiders come the other way with it. Gurley now brings it up the court. Gives it up to Newsom for a wide open three in the corner. Off the side of the backboard, though, no good. Rebound here to the Quakers. Akram gives it up the floor here now. It's Jaden Lewis. Lewis tries to drive on Newsom. First foul of the contest will go on Darrell, his first, team's first.
Yeah, Newsom might have been a little too open on that. I know the feeling.
There's almost sometimes where you're too set and then causes the miss. I totally get what you're saying right there. Is Wilmington has it out of the inbounds here. Jaden Lewis will give it over to Akram. Akram now up top to Chisholm. Back around the perimeter they go here to Farley with 10 on the shot clock. Farley takes a screen, the whistle, and we got another foul here on the perimeter on the Purple Raiders. This time it'll be on Caleb Lorich. That will be his first, team's second. And the shot clock resets here to 20 seconds.
Picking up too quick. Not even 2 minutes gone yet.
The inbound here to Dominic Farley. Farley looks to drive here on Newsome, picks up his dribble, now swings it over in the corner to Akram. Akram now looking to drive on Christian Parker. Forced a step back here with 9 seconds left. Looking to drive once more on Christian. Nice pass down low inside to Heimlich, but Heimlich shuffled his shoes. Great defense by the Purple Raiders, forced the turnover.
That was great defense, and still remaining physical after the 2 fouls called on him. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this tenacity on defense, but Wilmington coming out in a zone press here.
Yeah, it looks like a 2-2-1 right here as Corey Hudson walks up the front court here.
Not a very effective 2-2-1.
Lorich gives it over here to Colin Gurley. Gurley swings it back over to Hudson. Hudson now swings it back over to Gurley, steps into a contested 3 off the front of the rim, no good. A whistle, we've got a foul on the floor going on Obed Akram. That's going to be his team's first. Nice hustle there by Lawrence to force the foul.
And we talked about those offensive rebounds being critical in the pregame, and starting to, if you're Wilmington, you're not wanting to give Mount Union too many second chances. And here's what happens. Oh,
Hudson inbounds it to Parker, and it's blocked by Heimlich. Coming the other way with it is Wilmington. Lewis now puts it on the floor, looks to drive on Gurley, but Gurley stripped him clean. Out of bounds it goes, though. We'll say it's last off Colin. But
two nice hit that off of his leg and out of bounds, but he's got a better angle than I do. Great defensive play, regardless, the recovery from Gurley.
So almost 2.5 minutes into this one, still no score. As Lewis now swings it over to Akram. Akram down low inside, nice pass to Chisholm, and Chisholm, the hard finish, puts the first 2 points on the board for Wilmington. So 2-0 Quakers. Raiders looking to get on the board here. Hudson gives it up to Lawrence. Lawrence tries to feed it down low inside to Parker. Akram nearly comes up with the steal, and the Wilmington bench loves it. It will remain Purple Raider basketball.
That's what you want to see from a team on the away side. Coming in with a lot of energy early, making this Mount Union offense feel the pressure.
Raiders have started the ball game 0 for 4. Looking for their first points in this one. Near 5 seconds, but it's inbounded to Parker. Parker now looks to drive on Heimlich. He goes up for the layup. A strong take by Christian. He's going to draw the personal there on Gavin Heimlich, his first, team's second. Parker to the line for 2.
And when you got 5 seconds on the shot clock, it really pays to have a guy like Christian Parker. You can say, give him the ball and get out of the way. And you gotta give the defense some credit, though. They're giving him a tough time down there. They really are.
So Christian Parker, he found himself in foul trouble in their most recent matchup against Worcester. He finished the game with just 6 points and 8 rebounds, but was still very effective in the 15 minutes that he played in the blowout win. As the first free throw is no good.
The great part about Christian Parker is even if he's on the floor and he's having a bad shooting day, you still got to account for him on every defensive possession.
And 0 for 2 from the line that time. So Purple Raiders will remain scoreless here. It's 2-0 as going the other way, coast to coast, Dominic Farley can't quite get the layup to go. Rebound Lorich, and here comes Colin Gurley. Gurley now looking to drive here, steps back, takes a screen from Parker, feeds it to him on the pick and roll. Parker goes up for the shot, and he's going to be fouled on the play once again by Heimlich. Tried to go up for the jam, but Gavin Heimlich's going to get called for a second personal foul. And that's a big one there for Heimlich. He's been pretty effective so far on Christian Parker. He might be heading to the bench here.
Yeah, you got to give Heimlich credit, though. It's a tough man to defend, and he's been doing it really well in the first 4 minutes of this game. Just 2 kind of unlucky fouls, trying to help out his teammates, rotating back late to find Christian Parker. And you know, if there's anything you want to do, it's force him to the free throw line. That's arguably where he's the least effective. He can still burn you from her, but not his strongest shooting spot on the floor.
As Christian hits the first, Christian did come into today's matchup shooting just 53% from the free throw line. Second one is good as well. We're all tied up at 2. As Heimlich does indeed take a seat. Number 24, Matthew DeGue checks in, the senior guard from Brooklyn, New York. Raiders come out in a press of their own. Jaden Lewis gives it up top to Farley. Dominic Farley now defended closely here by Darrell Newsome. Going to take a screen from Lewis, drives, kicks it out to DeGue. DeGue now puts it on the floor, looks to drive, goes up for the layup. Fresh off the bench, Matthew DeGue makes it 4-2.
DeGue coming out, starting off hot. Just a difference though. He's 6'5" in comparison to 6'10".
And he is now assigned with guarding Christian Parker's Corey Hudson. Drives, goes up with a contested mid-range, in and out, no good. Rebound Quakers. Low scoring affair so far as Jaden Lewis steps into a transition three and gets it to go. Quakers on top now, 7-2. Wilmington coming out with a lot of energy here to start this game as Gurley now on the perimeter nearly has it taken away. He drives into the paint, goes up for the layup, and Colin Gurley, the tough finish at the rim.
A lot of strength from number 2.
So 7-4 in favor of Wilmington. Farley now drives into a double team, but breaks the double team. A little bit of a miscommunication on defenses. Farley found himself wide open for 2. 9-4 Quakers. It's the Purple Raiders trying to get things going here offensively. Down low inside, Larich tries to go for Christian Parker. It's taken away by Wilmington. Farley now swings it over to Lewis. Down low inside to DeGue. DeGue had it stripped from behind. Out of bounds it goes off the Purple Raiders. So will remain Wilmington basketball, Mount Union. With some substitutions here, Jaleel Graham will see his first action tonight, as will Dante Collier. And the Quakers will also have some substitutions here. So it looks like we have checking into the ballgame number 4, Carson Miles, number 10, Ben Golan, and number 21, Elijah Caffey. DeGue now looks to drive here on Parker. Lost the handle though. Out of bounds it goes. Will be Purple Raider basketball.
And this is when DeGue's in, this is Christian Parker's time to shine. I already talked about it, but Hemlick 6'10", DeGue 6'5". Big difference when guarding the OAC Player of the Year.
So the freshman Jaleel Graham gives it up here to the graduate Colin Gurley. Gurley now picks up his dribble, gives up to a backdoor cutter, and Jaleel Graham, what a beautiful move and a beautiful pass for 2. So Jaleel Graham, the freshman from Canton McKinley, makes it 9-6 in favor of Wilmington. Caffey now with a nice up and under move, couldn't quite get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Graham gets on the floor for the Purple Raiders. It gives it over to Gurley. Nice hustle there from Jaleel. Gurley now with it on the perimeter. Gives it up down low inside to Parker. Parker looking to go to work here on DeGue. Lost his footing though, just able to kick it out to Collier. Collier now at the top of the key, looks to drive, swings it back out to Gurley. He steps into the contested 3, and it's nothing but net. Colin Gurley ties things up at 9. All tied up at 9 here as Gurley nearly comes up with the steal. We have a whistle. Timeout Wilmington. The Purple Raiders, it's been a bit of a slow start offensively, but they're starting to get things going as we are all tied up at 9 with 14:05 left to go here in this first half.
There are not many people that shoot that shot that when they shoot it, you're like, all right, yes, that's a shot I want from you. And that is Colin Gurley's game through and through. You get into the arc a little beyond the elbows. And, man, every time he shoots it, you're the opposing team, you're holding your breath. Regardless of if he's got 1, 2 defenders on him, it doesn't matter. You know, as they clearly are game planning to stop Christian Parker, he's going to need these other guys to step up and score the basketball. And we're going to start seeing some production start happening on the Raiders side of this offense. And I'm liking how Wilmington's running in transition, though. They're really pressing the pace, making Mount Union run with them, tire them out a little bit. I feel like Wilmington's setting the pace of this game and how it's being played, but we're going to see how Mount Union can respond to all this energy that they've brought in the first 6 minutes of this contest, and a good one so far.
Yeah, without a doubt, and we talked about it at the top of the broadcast too. Wilmington, they would have their hands full as far as the glass game goes. So far, BK, 6 minutes into this one, Wilmington out-rebounding the Purple Raiders 8-4. They've definitely come out with a lot of intensity today.
And a lot of those have been second chance points on offense, and that's not something I thought we were going to see, especially with the height differential just throughout the overall lineup.
Without a doubt, for sure, as out of the timeout here, it'll be the same 5s for both squads. And Elijah Caffey will get set here to inbound it for Wilmington. The inbound here to Carson Miles. Miles, the freshman guard from Georgetown, Ohio, looks to drive here on Newsom. Goes up for the layup. Crafty finish there from Miles as he gets to the rim for 2.
That's a tough finish right there.
So 11-9 Wilmington here. 13:46 left to go in the half. Collier now with it. Has it knocked out of his hands. Out of bounds. Let's say it's last off the Quakers. So we'll remain Purple Raider basketball here. Marcus Steele checks in for the first time this afternoon for the Purple Raiders as Newsom takes a seat. Steele has it now for Mount Union out of the inbounds. Defended closely here by Cathy. Swings it over in the corner to Colin Gurley. Does he have another? That one's no good. A rebound here to Wilmington. It's Ben Golan now. Gives it over to Miles. Miles looking to drive here on Jaleel Graham. Gives it up to a backdoor cutter. And what a nice finish right there by Travis Mitchell, who just checked into the ball game as the senior from Dayton, Ohio, makes it 13-9. Steele now gives it over to Collier on the perimeter. Now swings it over to Jaleel Graham. Tries to feed it down low inside. Christian Parker, though, has that ball knocked out of his hands. Out of bounds it goes. Will remain Purple Raider basketball.
Yeah, his teammates aren't doing him any favor with some of these post entries, allowing the defense to get hands to it. He's struggling to get the ball down there right now.
Steele inbounds it here to Parker. Now swings it up top to Gurley. Gurley gives it over to Marcus Steele. Back over to Colin Gurley. Gurley at the Mount Union logo with 6 seconds to shoot. Fires it from the logo. Can't quite get it to go. Rebound to Wilmington. Carson Miles here nearly has it taken away by Jaleel Graham. Nice ball. A nice crossover, I should say, as he gives it over to Golan. And Golan drives to the rim for 2. It's 15-9, a 6-0 run out of the timeout here for Wilmington.
Mount Union just has not been getting quality shots the last 2 possessions. And
as we have a foul away from the ball here, it'll be on Ben Golan. It'll be his first, team's 4th. Substitutions here once again for Wilmington, as Obed Akram will check back in here, and Jack Nur will check in here, the freshman forward from Mainville, Ohio, listed at 6'8". Steele now with it, takes a screen from Parker, gives it up to Christian on the pick and pop. He fires one from the top of the key. That's too strong, no good. Rebound to Wilmington.
Mount Union not shooting the 3-pointer very well to start this first half.
Carson Miles swings it over to Golan. Golan feeds it down low inside to Nur. Nur now looking to go to work on Parker. Swings it back over to Mitchell. Mitchell now trying to drive here on Steele. Instead gives it up to Akram with 9 on the shot clock. Akram fakes the handoff on the perimeter now. 5 seconds. Steps into a mid-range. That's too strong, no good. Nur, though, grabs the offensive rebound. Goes up for the layup. Lost the handle, though. Gurley comes up with it. Gives it over to Christian Parker in transition, who goes up for the layup. And nice ball movement there. Colin Gurley to Christian Parker makes it 15-11. Wilmington trying to come quickly the other way. It's a whistle, and oh my, the Purple Raiders thought they came up with the steal, but it's a kick ball violation. Will remain Wilmington ball.
From up here, it was hard to tell. It looked like it hit his hand. I give him he kind of went for it with his leg, but it ended up hitting his hand in the end.
So it was Jaleel Graham and Colin Gurley on a trap in the corner right there. Nonetheless, it will be Wilmington basketball here. Dominic Farley checks back in here for the Quakers, as does Rashid Chisholm. Farley needs to inbound it here. Gurley nearly comes up with the steal. We have a whistle. It's a foul going on the Quakers. It will be on Jack Nur. That'll be his first, team's 5th. The Raiders getting closer and closer to the bonus here. And it'll be Mount Union ball. So Marcus Steele now brings it up the floor for Mount Union, trailing by 4 in this one. And Steele looks to drive here on Farley, now swings it over to Jaleel Graham. Graham gives it up down low inside to Parker in the post, whose hook shot is good. Christian now with 4 points here. It's 15-13.
That's been his first clean feed down there all night long. That's where they need to stay. What a trap.
Great trap indeed as Jaleel Graham comes up with the steal, swings it over to Steele. Extra pass in the corner to Collier, who steps into a 3. Too strong, no good. Rebound to Wilmington. Here come the Quakers as Golan looks to drive right into Christian Parker, and he draws the whistle. Parker's going to be called for his first, team's third. And the Quakers will head to the free throw line here now.
Tough call, just physical inside, and ref didn't give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. I'm curious to see if they take him out. He's played all 10 minutes of this first half already. Just picked up his first foul. Mike Phelan might sit him down for a couple of minutes, let him relax.
Golan's first free throw is in and out, no good. Will remain 15-13. Parker will indeed take a seat here with Colin Gurley. As Darrell Newsom and Caleb Lorich check back in here for the Purple Raiders. Matthew DeGue checks back in here for Wilmington.
Caleb Lorich has been pretty quiet this game so far. He's kind of an energy factor to this squad. I don't know, I think when he's out there with the younger kind of group, he kind of takes charge for the time being, and I'm excited to see how he comes out and plays after coming off the bench for the first time.
So Golan splits the pair and then heads over to the bench as Jaden Lewis will check back in here for Wilmington. As it's Marcus Steele here now, defended by Farley, drives into the paint, goes up for the layup, too strong. Rebound to Farley. Farley now pushing the pace, gives it over to Akram, and Akram with a nice Euro step gets to the rim for two. Quakers back on top by 5. So Wilmington coming out with a lot of energy here to start this game. They're shooting 50% overall from the floor. Mount Union at just 36%. As Steele looks to drive once again, goes into the paint, can't finish. Rebound Farley. Farley now in transition with a nice pass down low inside to DeGue, and DeGue gets to the rim for two. Coach Feline has seen enough as the Quakers in the midst right now of an 11-2 run on top, 20-13.
Curious, I mean, Mount Union just kind of looks like they believe they should just win this game instead of having to come out and play it. Wilmington's coming out like they got something to prove. Their record does not dictate how they're playing tonight, and like you said, 50% from the floor, shooting very well, high on the rebound totals as well, I believe, and they're just 15-5 in their rebound total. We were talking about how that is going to be one of the key factors in this game for Mount Union, and they're losing that battle and they're losing the game. Just not something that you're used to seeing. Wilmington also, we talked at the top of the broadcast about three-point percentage. Wilmington 50%, Mount Union 16.7. Large difference in this 8-point affair, and you know, sometimes you have to break through the barrier in the first half a little bit, get your feet in the water, but they're forcing foul trouble in Wilmington. They're just playing with a lot of energy, and quite frankly, I think Mount Union needs to pull out of this press a little bit. It's kind of forcing some issues in the transitional side of things, so I'm interested to see what Phelan had to tell his guys outside of the timeout.
Yeah, I love you mentioning those transition things right now, as Wilmington has already scored 7 fast break points. The Raiders with just 2 so far, as well as points in the paint, 16-8 in favor of Wilmington here. As out of the break, Darrell Newsom thought about the 3 there for Mount Union. Now picks up his dribble, gives it over to Lorich. Lorich now fakes the handoff, now gives it over to Marcus Steele. Steele looks to drive, fires up the mid-range, and that one's good. Marcus Steele gets on the board there with a pretty shot. 20-15 in favor of Wilmington. The Raiders have yet to have a lead here tonight. As Akram now gives it over to Lewis. Lewis looks to drive here on Collier. Goes up with the shot from the free throw line. Gets it to go. Quakers back on top by 7. Jaleel Graham now with it. Swings it back over here to Steele. Steele gives it up now. Dante Collier now back over to Jaleel Graham. Graham feeds it down low inside to Lorich, looking to go to work. Lorich with a nice move here. Goes up with the shot. Gets it to go off the glass. It's 22-17.
Had a little dream shake into the left hand there.
Gotta love it there from Caleb as gets on the board here, cuts the deficit back to 5. Farley now swings it over to Lewis. Lewis Gives it over now to Akram. Akram now up top, gives it over to DeGue. DeGue looks to drive, goes up for the layup, and Matthew DeGue off that Wilmington bench with 6 points now. It's 24-17. Marcus Steele now with it, gives it over to Jaleel Graham. We have a whistle, and an offensive foul is going to go here on the Purple Raiders. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a push-off there from Jaleel Graham, and a whistle here. And I believe Graham just got hit with a technical foul. It appears as though Graham, after the play was over, he slammed the ball ever so slightly. I think the referee might have signaled a technical foul there on Jaleel.
I don't know what happened. It looked like he got the ball hit out of his hand. It happened so fast over there. I have no idea. It looked like Matthew on the Wilmington side kind of came down and hit it, and he put his hands up like he wasn't guilty.
Nonetheless, Graham's going to be assessed the technical foul. Now Dominic Farley's over here shooting 2 free throws. Gets both of them to go. It's 26-17, largest deficit of the ball game now for the Purple Raiders, as Christian Parker, Colin Gurley, and Corey Hudson, my apologies, will check back in here for the Purple Raiders. Marcus Steele's going to head over to the bench. So the Purple Raiders back with the starting 5 out on the floor. Carson Miles checks back in here now for Wilmington. So the Purple Raiders, they need to get something going here now.
Well, normally we see a little bit stronger bench play, but starters also didn't give them much of leg room to work with, much margin of error. So we'll see what they can do despite this comeback.
So to recap there, Graham was called for the offensive foul and then a technical foul. The technical foul here in D3 hoops does count as a personal as well, so Graham's going to have 2 personal fouls now. A whistle here, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow is in favor of Wilmington. They'll have 12 seconds on the shot clock here. So the Raiders now with 5 team fouls, 6 team fouls here for Wilmington. It's here off the inbound. DeGue now gives it up top to Akram, a whistle, and an offensive foul is going to be going on Wilmington. It's going to go on DeGue. Or correction, no, Dominic Farley will be called for the personal. His first team 7th. The Raiders are going to be in the bonus the rest of the way here. So definitely something that will be in Mount Union's favor. Jack Nerd checks back in here for the Quakers.
I'm interested to see how Mount Union's going to start attacking this defense more in the paint.
Yeah, it's been a struggle so far.
16% from the 3 line, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely got to work on getting that inside-out game, as Lowich now gives it up down low inside to Christian Parker. He drew the double team. It did not matter. Christian Parker's got 8 points, 26-19.
I think Mike Feline was in their ear about shooting 3 ball.
Chisholm was just able to save it inbounds, but it's going to be a backcourt violation as he threw that ball to Farley, who was on the opposite side of the court. And the ball will go back here to the Purple Raiders, so they force the turnover as Elijah Caffey checks in here for Wilmington. So it's Corey Hudson now with it. He gives it over here to Colin Gurley, now around here to Lorwich. Up top, Darrell Newsom. Newsom now up top, gives it to Hudson. Hudson looks to drive, goes to the rim for 2. A nice move by Corey. 26-21, timeout for Michael Mills and Wilmington, as Mount Union trims the deficit back down to 5.
You know, basketball is a game of runs, and runs are so big and so small sometimes. What I like to see from teams that are resilient like Mount Union, that's how you know that they're a solid foundational team. They can put their starters back in with confidence after a timeout and come out here, put up 6, 7, 8 points right off the bat. Force Wilmington to take a timeout. Now your bench has got a little more confidence in the game. They come back in. They start doing a little bit better than what happened. You stop shooting so many threes, start taking it to the rack, get to the free throw line, you're in the bonus. You know, you got 7 minutes left in this first half, and this first half, with the way Mount Union plays basketball, could end 26-40. You know, Mount Union is such a team. Basketball in general is a game of runs, but Mount Union specifically is very, very hot, and then they kind of steam cold sometimes. Mike Feline has a really good handle on this team, and if there's anything that you should trust, it's that he's got these guys doing what they should be doing. And that's not to not give Wilmington credit. They're a really solid foundational team, especially on defense. Really, really impressed with what they're bringing to the floor tenacity-wise. Just scrapping for every ball. Their guards are playing really hard, forcing Colin Gurley to hit tough shots. Christian Parker's getting tired in that paint, so I think they're doing a really good job in their game plan-wise of controlling this Mount Union offense. And then not only that, but contributing that defense into offense in transition. Doing a really good job.
So the Quakers with the substitution out of the timeout. It will be Ben Goling checking into the contest. As Kathy has it now for Wilmington. Defending closely here by Gurley, nearly taken away by Newsom, and he draws the foul. Darrell Newsom got in the passing lane and took quite a shot from Ben Golan, who's going to be called for his second personal, 8th team foul. And Darrell Newsom, apologies, heads to the line here for 1-1.
I almost thought he was just going to let it go out of bounds, and I almost laughing to myself. It's like, that's a pass interference in football, more or less basketball. But good call by the referee there, and this is where the bonus matters. Darrell Newsom to hit 1 of 2 right now.
First one's up and good, so Newsom hits the front end of the 1-1. Second free throw incoming as Newsom gets on the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And if he hits this, it will be a 3-point game.
So Newsom getting set here. Second free throw's up and good as well. One possession game. It's 26-23. The Raiders have trailed by as much as 9. They're in the midst of a 6-0 run here, though. Chisholm gives it up to Carson Miles. Miles nearly has it taken away by Hudson, and it is stolen away indeed. Parker gives it up to Gurley in transition. He goes up for the layup. A whistle. Traveling violation going on Colin Gurley. A little bit of a chaotic sequence there from Mount Union, but got to credit the defense. They came in with a big steal. Just turns it over at the other end, though.
I mean, you love it. You press somebody to make them go faster than they want to go. We get the turnover as Mount Union, and Mount Union goes a little bit faster than they want to go.
As here off the press, Miles will break it easily for the Quakers, but Darrell Newsom got back and swats it out of bounds. Will remain Wilmington basketball.
I mean, it looked a little egregious from up here, but it also looked like he got it really clean. But
so Newsom had 4 blocks in their most recent matchup against Worcester. Gets a big one there as Matthew DeGue checks back in. So does Travis Mitchell and Dominic Farley as Miles off the inbound fires up a 3, and that's nothing but net. The freshman Carson Miles makes it 29-23. Corey Hudson now with it, defended closely here by Miles. Gives over to Lorich. Lorich now up top here, Gurley. Gurley feeds it down low inside to Parker, going to work in the post. Can't quite get it to go, but Lorich's tip is good. 29-25.
That's what we've been missing from him.
As Wilmington breaks the press here, now down low inside to DeGue. He goes up for the layup. Can't quite get it to go. The tip, though, from Elijah Caffey makes it 31-25.
Wilmington stopping the run a little bit.
Just when the Raiders get close enough, Wilmington has a response. Gurley now feeds it down low inside to Parker. He goes up for the layup. A strong move from Christian Parker, 31-27.
There's a little anger in that layup.
As Farley comes with it the other way, gives over to Mitchell. Now back over to Farley. A whistle though, and it's a traveling violation. Couple Raiders force another turnover.
I was going to say, I thought he picked up that initial foot before the ball went down, but sometimes it's such a fast play, it almost doesn't matter, you know?
So Corey Hudson now with it. It's defended here by Miles. Gives it over here to Lorich. Lorich now down low inside to Parker. A spin move, goes up for the layup, and one! Christian Parker, my oh my, draws the whistle on DeGue. And he's heading to the line for one more.
That can't stop him. Can only hope to contain him. That man is exceptional at finishing at the rim, and you see he applies so much pressure to the front side of the paint that anytime he turns his back, I mean, he could average 12 assists a game if he was, not that he should, but he could average 12 assists a game just off that backspin alone. The entire defense goes to collapse. He still finishes and almost hits the free throw.
As out of bounds will go off the free throw. They'll say it was last off the Purple Raiders. It will be Wilmington ball. Christian Parker now 12 points here this afternoon as he leads all scorers. Farley now with it. He gives it over to Mitchell. Downloaded to Degue. Degue back out to Farley. Steps into the contested three. Nothing but net. Dominic Farley gives the Quakers the 5-point lead again. It's 34-29.
Quakers are hot from deep.
Lorich now with it. Swings it over in the corner. Colin Gurley. He steps into a three. That one's no good. Followed his own miss though. And he goes up for the layup. It's a whistle. Foul going here on Degue. And Colin Gurley's going to head to the line here now for two. Mount Union in the double bonus. Degue gets called for his first.
Got to have these free throws. Mount Union right now from the free throw line. 4-7, not bad. Could be a little better, 57.1%. However, Wilmington right now, 75% from that three-point line, 3 of 4. And Mount Union has not found an answer from beyond 26 feet.
And they'll say a correction here. It was actually the 9th team foul instead of the 10th. So that means a 1-and-1 for Gurley instead of just 2 free throws. First one's up and good. So Colin Gurley's got 6 now. It's 34-30. So he looks to hit the second one here and cut it back to a 1-possession game here. Second free throw for Colin is up. Nothing but nylon. It's 34-31.
I love that.
It's Cathy now with it. He gives it over here to Farley. Farley now swings it over to Cathy. Looks to drive into the paint. Now swings it over to Mitchell. Mitchell gives it over to Degue. He drives on Christian Parker. Goes up for the layup. Can't quite get it to go. Rebound Darrell Newsom. Raiders trying to cut the deficit down to 1 is on the alley-oop. Lowrich couldn't quite finish. Out of bounds, it will be off of Wilmington. Will remain Purple Raider basketball.
Just threw the alley-oop a little bit too late, and it would have been a nice play, but you had both Christian Parker and Caleb running around down there, and Christian Parker takes up so much space, and it's hard to have both of them block running sometimes.
As Chiselman Lewis check back in here now for Wilmington. It's Hudson now with it. He looks to drive, picks up his dribble, creating some space, fires up the mid-range. Nice move there by Corey Hudson. Coming off the belly roll. So Raiders cut it back down to 1. 34-33. It's Jaden Lewis now with it. He swings it over to Farley. Farley's going to be defended closely here by Darrell Newsom. Farley now looks to drive, gets into the paint, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Right back to Farley though off the tip. And his putback's good. It's 36-33. It's Corey Hudson now with it. Up top here, Christian Parker. Parker feeds it down low inside to Lorich. Lorich now going to work in the post, goes up for the shot. Can't get it to go, but a nice pass there by Christian Parker sets Lorich up with 2 free throws here.
They got to capitalize their opportunities at the free throw line in these last 3 minutes and 25 seconds. I mean, you can force the smallest of fouls and get 2 free points.
So Lorich's first free throw is up and off the front of the rim, no good. As Jack Nerd checks back in here now for Wilmington. And another substitution here, as it'll be Nick Malagreca checking in for the first time here this afternoon for the Quakers. Dante Collier getting set to check back in here for Mount Union. As Lorich hits the second, 36-34, he'll take a seat for Collier. Raiders still continuing here with the press. It's Farley now defended in the backcourt by Corey Hudson. Is able to get past him here. Goes up with the floater. Can't quite get it to go. Offensive rebound though from Nur. And Nur's putback is good. 38-34 Wilmington. It's Hudson now with it. Gives it over here to Collier. Collier steps into a mid-range. That's no good. Offensive rebound, Christian Parker, and he draws the whistle again. But throws his hands up as he got fouled hard on that one.
Threw that thing 30 feet in the air after that foul. I think this, I love the press from Feline, I really do. So I don't want to sound like I'm being critical here. But I do want to say, it feels like it's drawing a lot of energy out of us on the offensive side of the ball. We're falling short on free throws. Our threes look like they're falling short. We don't have a lot of finesse at the rim. I think it's taking a lot of our legs out of the game. And I'm interested to see if he takes it out to start the second half, or if he keeps applying more pressure. We'll see.
As Parker splits the pair that time, it's 38-35. Parker's now 3 for 7 from the free throw line here this afternoon. Farley looks to drive here. Picks up his dribble, now steps back into a mid-range. Dominic Farley, what a move. Makes it 40-35.
He's been playing a really good game. And like I said, Corey Hudson's got to play him the full length of the court.
Hudson now drives, goes up for the shot, can't quite get it to go, and he's going to draw the whistle. Foul's going to go here on Jaden Lewis. That's going to be his first double bonus situation, and Corey Hudson to the line here now for 2.
Eight for 13 from the free throw line so far for the Purple Raiders.
Make it 9 for 14 as Hudson hits the first.
They got plenty of time to tie this or take the lead, especially if they keep getting to the free throw line. I believe this is almost the 3rd possession in a row. 6 free points, and Corey Hudson takes advantage.
40-37, Hudson will take a seat. Marcus Steele checks back in here for the Purple Raiders. And Carson Miles will check back in here now for Wilmington. As Farley now brings it up the floor. He is going to take a screen. Now sends it over to Chisholm. Chisholm defended closely here by Collier. Drives, has to kick it back out. Great defense by Dante, forced the steal. It's now Marcus Steele coming with it the other way. He's the layup, and one up coming. Marcus Steele off the pass from Christian Parker has a chance to tie things up now at the free throw line.
What a very unselfish play by Christian Parker. I mean, he had a full head of steam coming down the middle of the court, gives it up to his guard. Really strong finish from Steele there, and converts the N1. We're seeing Mount Union at the foul line a lot in these last 4 or 5 minutes. I think Coach Feline said a little something about take the ball to the rim.
We are all tied at 40 now as Marcus Steele has got 5 points off the Mount Union bench now. The Purple Raider crowd coming to life here. This game tied now as Miles now looks to drive, goes up for the shot, whistle, and it's another foul, this time on the Purple Raiders. It's going to be on Marcus Steele. Miles is going to head to the line for 2. And BK, first couple games we've done, we felt like there wasn't many fouls called. That is certainly not the case here in this first half.
Yeah, especially in the last one we did, it was a really physical game, and honestly one of the more fun games that I've got to watch here. The refs really let them play, and you know, I feel like nobody was getting angry on the court because they understood that, you know what, they're not getting calls, we're not getting calls, we're just playing physical basketball out here. And I'm not sure the foul total on Wilmington right now. They capped off at 10, but I think, if my math is correct, there's been 19 fouls in this first half alone, and they're just not letting them play physical, which is fine, but then you have to ref the whole game like that. We'll see who survives that, I guess.
As Carson Miles hits both free throws, it's now 42-40. As up top now, Dante Collier, he looks to drive. Has that one blocked, though, by Chisholm. Body's on the floor here. Wilmington comes away with it. Farley now with it. Trying to put the moves on Parker, but he gets clotheslined by him in the process. It's going to be a foul going on Christian. It's going to be his second, team seventh. And so that will send Dominic Farley to the line for a 1-and-1. That's an unfortunate one there for Christian. He's kind of just standing there, wrong place at the wrong time. It is definitely a foul, but just at the wrong place there for Christian.
I was going to say definitely a foul, and I understand why you have to call that. But that to me just felt like a size differential. Like if that was a normal forward that just did that, they would have collided a little bit. It would have been no foul, just play basketball. But because I was a point guard hitting someone who's 230 pounds inside there, the hit looks a lot worse than what it was.
As Farley hits the front end of the 1-and-1, 43-40 Wilmington, a minute 35 left to go here in this first half. But Parker will likely sit the rest of this first half with those two personal fouls.
We haven't seen any Scary Otis tonight yet.
Second one is up and good, 44-40 in favor of Wilmington. Marcus Steele now gives it over to Collier. Now around here to Newsom, back over Marcus Steele. Steele takes the screen from Lowrich, tried to feed it down low inside, however gets the ball right back. Now they get it over to Caleb in the post. Out up top here, Marcus Steele couldn't corral it cleanly. With a whistle, timeout for the Purple Raiders. As Steele just able to call the timeout with 7 seconds on the shot clock, minute 11 on the game clock here.
I mean, heads-up play, you kind of bobble or lose it. You got enough time on the clock to the point where that timeout matters. That turnover could make this a 7-point game at the half versus you get that timeout, get a bucket, and make it a 2-point game at the half or even tie it before the half over. So smart play by the junior guard there and Marcus Steele, but you just got to start picking up the pace and playing more of their brand of basketball right now. It's a little bit of sloppy play, not 16% from the three-point line, 14%, correction, even worse. But I think they're understanding that this isn't their night from deep because they have been consistently getting the ball down low, especially in the last 8 minutes, 10 minutes or so. So that's not to shy away from shooting the three, but you definitely need to be cautious of how you individually are shooting.
So Newsom will inbound here. 6 seconds on the shot clock now as Steele looks to drive on Miles. 2 seconds, 1 second, fires up the fadeaway, got it to go. Marcus Steele in the paint, gets it to go. 44-42, less than a minute to go in the half.
Phenomenal isolation.
Farley now with it. Defended here by Darrell Newsom. Looking to just direct traffic here. Take a screen up at the top. Now feeds it down low. What a pass. Down low inside to Jack Nuhr. Gets to the rim for two. 46-42. About a 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Collier now gives it over here to Newsom. Newsom down low inside to Lowrich. Lowrich now trying to go to work in the paint. Goes up with the shot. Gets to go. Caleb Lowrich cuts it back down to a 2-point deficit. So it's Dominic Farley now with it. 6 seconds remain in the half as Farley now switched off on by Lowrich. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, fires up the shot, and he got it to go. A cold-blooded shot from Dominic Farley caps off his big 16-point first half, and at the end of one, Mount Union trailing in this one, 49-44. BK, Wilmington's definitely come out to play here today, man. Your thoughts on that first half?
Well, first of all, Dominic Farley, wow. What a performance we've seen from him, handling the press at every step of the way. I think he's got one turnover tonight, handling that press all the first half. Correct me if I'm wrong with those live stats, but Wilmington is playing together, they're playing solid, they're playing scrappy, and they're making Mount Union think about every single thing they're doing. Mount Union right now is not playing very well. They're not shooting the ball from deep very well. They've kind of been sloppy on their dribbling and turnovers. They're not running their offense very efficiently. And that's credit to Wilmington's defense. You know, they're really being tenacious down there, causing problems. Christian Parker's getting frustrated. There's fouls left and right. This is going to be a competitive game down to the last 5 seconds, and I promise you that. So, but, I mean, you can't say enough about Dominic Farley in this half. 16 points, just buries a three at the end there to kind of leave Mount Union with a sour taste in their mouth going to the locker room. So, man, Wilmington came to play.
Definitely did, as Wilmington on top 49-44 here at the halftime break. Dominic Farley leads all scorers here today with 16 points. Christian Parker leads your Mount Union Purple Raiders with 13 points at the halftime break. We're going to take a short break here on the live stream. We'll be back for the second half between Mount Union and Wilmington. Here, getting ready for second half action between the Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Wilmington Quakers here on the men's basketball live stream. Hello again, everyone. My name is Jacob Attar. Alongside me up here is my man Brandon Kearns and BK. Very competitive first half. Mount Union, though, finds themselves trailing by 5. They never led in that first half. Got out rebound 22-10 as well. At Wilmington, they're shooting a red hot 58% from the floor. What does Mount have to do to kind of counter what's been a strong, incredible start so far for the Quakers?
Well, first things first, Mount Union needs to do a better job of rebounding the basketball, but secondly, shoot the three-pointer better and just all-around shots. I think they need to pull out of this press, save their legs on defense, and they'll prevail at the end of this one.
We shall see here as second half is underway. Both teams with all their starters out on the floor. So for Wilmington, it's Obed Akram, Jaden Lewis, Rasheed Chisholm, Gavin Heimlich, who played just about 3 minutes in that first half with foul trouble, and then Dominic Farley. For the Raiders, it's Darrell Newsom, Corey Hudson, Caleb Lawrich, as well as Christian Parker and Colin Gurley. Lawrich now gets it up at the top of the key, now swings it over in the corner to Newsom, who fires up the three. No good. Tipped the ball, and it's into the hands of Dominic Farley. So the Quakers come with it the other way as Farley gives it over to Lewis. Lewis looks to drive here on Hudson. A nice spin move, goes up with the shot. And Jaden Lewis picks up right where Wilmington left off with a big bucket there. 51-44. Trying to go down low in the paint to Lawrich, but that pass is taken away by the Quakers. And Farley now with it. Down low inside to Heimlich. Kicks it back out to Akram. Couldn't corral the pass cleanly, though. Now looks to drive past Colin Gurley. Gets to the rim for two. That one's no good. Heimlich, though, goes up with the putback. 53-44 Wilmington.
And not the start you want for Mike Feline.
Corey Hudson now with it. Gives it up down low inside. Christian Parker going to work. Goes up for the shot. Can't get it to go. No whistle there. And Chisholm comes up with the rebound. So it's Dominic Farley now with it. Takes a screen from Heimlich. Now looking to drive here on Hudson. Gets into the paint. Gives it up to Akram on the backdoor cut, but it's blocked by Lawrich. Hudson now with it for Mount Union. Hudson looks to drive. Draws the whistle here. It's going to be a foul going on Dominic Farley. So for Farley, his second team's first. Raiders trailing by 9 here with 18-14 left to go here. So Hudson will inbound it. Now gives it up top, Christian Parker. Parker now puts it on the floor, swings it out to Newsom, right back to Parker. Parker thought about the three, now steps into one. That one's no good. Fight for the rebound into the hands of Newsom, and Darrell gets the putback.
This offense needs to keep applying pressure. Maybe not shoot the three ball so much.
It's been a struggle for Mount Union here this afternoon. 1 for 9 now from downtown. 4 for 5 for the Quakers as Lewis at the other end steps into a shot, can't get it to go. Rebound Gurley. Gurley in transition, gives it up. Christian Parker goes up with the reverse. Gets it to go. 53-48. 15 points now for Christian Parker to lead the Purple Raiders here this afternoon.
Yeah, that took some concentration. Had to come up with the pass a little bit ahead of him and hits the reverse just in time before the block.
Farley now takes a screen from Heimlich. A whistle on the perimeter, and it's going to be a foul going on the Purple Raiders. It's going to be on Caleb Lawrich, his second, team's first. Shot clock resets to 20 seconds here now for Wilmington. So we'll be Farley here at the Mount Union logo. It's defended closely by Darrell Newsom. Now looking to cross over Darrell here. Looking to drive, gets into the paint, goes up with the floater, can't quite get it to go. Rebound there, Christian Parker. Parker looking to go up ahead here to Newsom. Newsom took quite the hit though from Akram. He's going to draw the personal. Akram's going to be called for his 4th personal foul now. It's going to be his 2nd team foul of the half.
Mount Union's really pushing the pace and not giving to the point guard on that one and just really trying to just ram it down the defense. And I like that. I think they're trying to get aggressive, score the ball.
So Ben Golan checks in for Akron after he picks up his 4th foul. Off the inbound. Newsom can't quite hit the 3. Tipped rebound, though, into the hands of Hudson for 2.
That's 1 for 10 from the 3-point line now for the Purple Raiders. But on the bright side, offensive rebounds are coming in spades.
53-50, Raiders cut the deficit back down to 1 possession. Chisholm now gives it out up top to Farley. Farley wants a screen from Heimlich, instead drives. Gives over to a cutter and Golan, who can't quite get it to go. Rebound Newsom. Christian Parker came up a little hobbled after that play. But he looks to be fine now. Colin Gurley now on the perimeter. Swings it over to Parker. Parker steps into a 3. Can't quite get it to go off the glass. Offensive rebound though to Newsom. And Corey Hudson has it now. Hudson now looks to drive. Goes up with the floater. That one's too strong, no good. Fight for the rebound once again. Lorich comes up with it, but as it's taken away by Wilmington. Chaotic sequence, the Raiders get it right back. Lorich gives it up top to Christian Parker. Hustle pays off there for the Purple Raiders. Timeout Wilmington. Mount Union trailing out just by 1.
And you see Darrell Newsom give him a little hug after that one. Kind of holding your breath as that ball really floated, but I mean, really strong finish from Christian Parker. Got him hobbled on the play before, and I mean, you're almost looking for an and one on that, but Mount Union, let's see if they can continue to strive. They've had a lead all game, and every single time that they come around to cut this game to a 2-1 to even a tie ball game, they just cannot seem to get that upper edge on Wilmington. So this is their opportunity, and we'll see if this defense can hold out.
So it's now 53-52 in favor of Wilmington. 15:50 left to go here in this second half, and we'll see now if the Purple Raiders can take their first lead of the ballgame. And so Wilmington now with it. So Elijah Caffey will check in for the first time this second half, as will Carson Miles. And Caffey will be defended here by Darrell Newsom. Raiders also had a substitution. Jaleel Graham checks back into the ball game. He's up top here to Golan. Golan now swings it over to Miles. Miles defended here by Graham. Tries to get it to Golan, nearly taken away by Parker. Lost the possession. The Raiders can take the lead. Gurley now with it, takes a screen from Lorich. Now looking to cross over, gets into the paint. What a move by Gurley, just couldn't quite finish. Offensive rebound somehow to Christian Parker. 4 Wilmington Quakers around him, did not matter. Parker grabs the offensive board, draws the whistle, and heads to the line with a chance to give Mount Union the lead.
There are a lot of question marks on that play. I don't know how Colin Gurley got through that, how he almost made that, or how Christian Parker grabbed that rebound. But I mean, it just shows you how crafty of a player Colin Gurley can be. I mean, that was the most congested inside the paint, and nobody got a hand of that ball. He still, I mean, by a feather, he didn't get that in. And 2 free throws coming up. First one is good.
Christian ties things up at 53. The Raiders can take their first lead of the ball game with this next free throw. And a stat that will blow your mind here, BK. Mount Union had just 10 rebounds in the whole entire first half in general. Now they have 10 rebounds in the first 5 minutes of the second half. So definitely Mike Fuline was talking about in that halftime break, crashing the glass. Mount Union's done that very effectively here.
I think you heard my pregame broadcast. And
as the second one's no good, so score will remain tied up at 53 as Caffey looks to drive at the other end. Goes coast to coast. Gets the layup to go, and one upcoming. Fouls going on. Christian Parker, his third, team second. So Parker's going to take a seat with those 3 fouls. Dante Collier checks back into the ballgame for Mount Union. Travis Mitchell back in for Wilmington. So Caffey now to the line here for one more. It's a sophomore guard from Cincinnati, Ohio, gets it to go. It's now 56-53 Quakers. So the Raiders still going to have to wait for that first lead of the ball game. As Graham now has it, defended here by Miles. Looking to put the moves on him on the perimeter here. Swings it over in the corner to Newsom. Back up top here to Graham, now around to Collier. Raiders will move the ball around the perimeter here still as Newsom now has it, defended closely by Caffey. Gives it over now to Graham with 5 on the shot clock. Graham looks to drive, goes up for the layup, gets it to go. Jaleel Graham trims it back down to 1. 56-55 is at the other end. A turnover here now for Wilmington, and the Raiders can regain the lead once more. It's Jaleel Graham now once again. Takes a screen from Lowrich, now steps into a 3. That one's no good. Rebound to Caffey. So Carson Miles now with it. Defended here by Graham. Miles will drive, kicks it over to Caffey. Caffey now steps into a mid-range, gets it to go. 58-55 Wilmington.
He's picked up a quick 5 points here.
It's now Jaleel Graham with it. Graham lost the handle there momentarily. Now looks to drive. Swings it over in the corner to Newsom. A whistle though. And they'll say Graham stepped out of bounds. And it will be Wilmington basketball. So the Quakers, they've bent, but they haven't broke yet. Still on top by 3 here. Ben Golan now with it.
I'm interested in why Feline's still in this man-to-man press. I feel like it's just really deteriorating our offensive game.
As Golan will drive, can't quite get it to go. We have a whistle, no foul. They'll just say it goes out of bounds off the Quakers, and it will be Purple Raider basketball. So Gurley now, taking it the full length of the court, defended by Mitchell. Takes a screen from Larks. Now he steps into a 3, and Colin Gurley ties things up at 58. His second 3, just the second 3 total for the Purple Raiders here this afternoon.
We haven't seen him take one since the 12-minute mark in the first half. Hopefully he gets hot.
Tying things up here at 58. 13 minutes left to go. Miles now with it. Swings it over here. They get it down low inside to Caffey. Caffey steps into a mid-range. That time it's short. Out of bounds it goes. They'll say last off Collier. It'll be Wilmington basketball. Chisholm checks back into the ball game here now for the Quakers. So we have a whistle, and it looks like a timeout going here for Wilmington. They'll just have 2 remaining, as with 12:49 left to go in this one. We are all tied up at 58.
You know, despite it's 58-58 tie game with 12 minutes left, and Mount Union is 15% from the 3-point line. So a kind of a bittersweet stat there. It's like, you know, while we are having a horrible shooting game, but we are in this game and probably favored to win right now at this moment. But despite the bad shooting performance from the 3-point line, still 22 of 46 to Wilmington's 23 of 45. 47.8% field goal percentage for the Purple Raiders. 2 for 13. You know, you're not that bad at 47.8%. You got a chance here at your first lead of the night if you can play some defense and go score in transition. Wilmington has had the lead for 23 minutes and 19 seconds of this contest.
We shall see here as Miles will inbound it here to DeGue. DeGue now looks to drive on Lowrich. Had it taken away though as Collier came up with the steal. Mount Union can take their first lead of the night. Gurley now looks to drive. He draws the whistle. A foul on the perimeter right before Colin Gurley made his initial move to the basket. As Elijah Caffey gets called for his 3rd personal foul, 14th foul at a half. Some substitutions here for Wilmington. Jack Nurk checks back in here to the contest, as is Dominic Farley.
Now's the time to score and take that lead. Dominic Farley's back in this game. It's been really hot.
And Jaleel Graham, he just rips his headband off mid-play right there. Gives it over to Gurley. Gurley now steps into a fadeaway three, and Colin Gurley gave the Raiders the lead for the first time tonight, 61-58.
He's feeling himself from deep, and somebody needs to.
13 now for Colin Gurley is down low inside the Nur. He nearly loses it, gives it up to Kathy. He fires up the floater, no good. Rebound Colin. Gurley looking to come with it the other way. Steps back and it's a whistle, and my oh my, this place would have went nuts had they not blown the whistle on that one. What a move by Gurley.
That's something you don't want to have against Colin Gurley, is you and him are going downhill. He's winning that battle every single time. So strong, so good with the basketball. You should be lucky he called a foul.
Mitchell gets called for the foul, 15 foul to half. He takes a seat for Lewis to check back in here. Jaleel Graham now gives it up to Gurley. Scored the last 6 Mountain Union points. That time it's no good. Offensive rebound over Lorich. Saves it to Dante Collier. What hustle there from Caleb. As Collier now looks to drive, goes up with the floater, gets it to go. Dante Collier gives the Raiders a 5-point lead.
And this is when the Raiders get so hard to stop, when that offense starts moving.
As at the other end, Farley looks to drive. He goes up with the shot. Can't get it to go. Rebound Lorich. Jaleel Graham now has it for the Purple Raiders. Graham nearly lost the handle. Now looks to drive. Draws the whistle. The foul there going on Kathy. That's going to be his 4th. Team 6. The Raiders are just 1 foul away from the bonus with 11-14 left to go in this one.
Well, Wilmington played a lot with their hands in the second half, as they did in the first half too. And I mean, the foul differentials have been pretty explanatory of that.
Miles and Heimlich check back in here now. As off the inbound, it's to Lowrich. Lowrich goes up with the shot. Oh, they called him for a travel. Looked like he could have drew the foul there, which would have been an and 1. But they say he shuffled his shoes before he got his shot up.
Must have been that left foot sliding up a little bit.
So Dominic Farley now defended here by Graham with a nice spin move. Gets into the paint, but great recovery there by Jaleel. Swings up top to Chisholm, steps into a 3. A cold-blooded 3 from Rashid Chisholm.
It's not enough contest. He was so relaxed shooting that 3. You got to close out on a team that's shooting 80% from the three-point line tonight. You know they're hot.
63-61 is in the corner. They go to Collier. Collier now looking to put the moves on Lewis. He drives, gets to the paint, goes up for the shot. Can't get it to go. Foul, though, will be going here on Jaden Lewis. His 2nd. Penalty situation will send Dante Collier to the line for a 1-and-1 as they signal that one was on the floor.
He played a really good game the other night, really hot from the three-point line. We haven't even seen him take a 3 tonight, I don't believe. So maybe he and Colin Gurley might be the answer to this poor three-point performance from the Purple Raiders.
This gets the front end of the 1-and-1. Yeah, Dante had a career-high 23 points last week against Worcester. It was an incredible game from him. He's got 3 points off that Mount Union bench now here tonight, but he has provided a lot of energy, particularly in this second half.
Well, you can tell Wilmington practiced from the three-point line all week after their game. 8% from the three-point line the other night. 83.3% tonight.
It's been a tale of 2 games as Collier gets both free throws to go. Mount Union back on top here by 4. Chisholm now will be defended closely by Collier. He drives into the paint, goes up for the shot. Might have gotten away with the travel right there, but Chisholm nonetheless gets to the rim for 2.
Might have. Oh, boy.
65-63 in favor of Mount Union as Collier draws another foul. It's going to go on Lewis once again. His 3rd, team's 8th. And Collier is going to head to the line once again for 1-and-1. Wilmington, they seem to be fouling just on about every possession right now.
It's hard. You know, they're playing really fast, really physical, scrappy. They would have loved the refs the other night, last week, but tonight, you know, you got to play more with your body, less with your hands. And they're picking up a lot of tic-tac fouls. Not a lot of shooting fouls. mainly just on the wing, trying to guard the screen coming off the hedge, just not having enough time to evaluate what they're doing. And sometimes you just get caught up holding off or hitting the hip.
As Collier hits both free throws, he's got 6 points now here for the Purple Raiders, 67-63. As Chisholm now with it, swings it over to Lewis. Lewis puts it on the floor, drives past Gurley, goes to the rim for two. A nice move by Jaden Lewis. Gets to the rim for an uncontested layup. (67-65). Colin Gurley now with it. Gives it up top here to Collier. Collier now puts it on the floor, fires up a shot from the elbow. That one's no good. Rebound Farley. Wilmington can tie or take the lead here as Dominic Farley quickly gets up the court, trying to throw the alley-oop to Chisholm, and that one's too high, out of bounds. It goes back to Mount Union.
That would have been one heck of a play. I mean, he got down that court in 2.5 seconds. Where a lot of his points have come tonight is on the transition. You know, he breaks off. He looks like Tyreek Hill screaming down the floor.
As DeGue checks back in here now for Wilmington. Newsom now with it. Feeds it down low inside to Lorich. A nice spin move by Lorich. Gets to the rim for two.
He's doing a great job holding it down there without his big man in help. Christian Parker, who's in a little bit of foul trouble here.
9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for Caleb here tonight. It's been a great game for him as Farley now looks to drive. Drew with a double team, somehow, someway got the layup up as Farley makes it 69-67.
Man, Lurich had the jump ball and let it go.
They'll go to Caleb once more here in the post. Lurich now looking to drive baseline, goes up with the reverse, can't get it to go, but he draws the whistle. Foul there is going to go on Matthew DeGue, as that'll be his second, team's 9th. And Lurich to the line now for 1-1. Obed Akram will check back in with 4 personal fouls. So definitely going to have to be careful here. Just one more and he will be ejected. Caleb Lurich trying to get into double figures here now for the Purple Raiders. First free throw is up, no good. So misses the front end. And Wilmington will come the other way with it. Up top they go here to Chisholm. Chisholm now over to Akram. Akram defended by Gurley. Thought about the mid-range, instead gives it up to DeGue. DeGue looks to drive, goes up for the layup, and draws the personal. Foul's going on Lowrich. It's going to be his third, team's third.
I think they just called that on Dante. You're right. They called it on Caleb. Looked like he said no, pointed at Dante over there.
So DeGue will head to the line now for 2. First free throw is up, rims out, no good. 69-67 Mount Union. As Marcus Steele and Christian Parker check back in here now for the Purple Raiders. So for Mount Union, it will be Jaleel Graham, Marcus Steele, Colin Gurley, Christian Parker, and Darrell Newsom out on the floor here now. As DeGue's second free throw is up, so he splits the pair. 69-68 Mount Union, 7:53 left to go here at the MAC. Steele now with it, defended closely here by Miles. Tries to cross him over here. Now we'll just swing it over to Jaleel. As Graham now with it, he looks to drive, gets into the paint, goes up with the layup. To go, the freshman with a nice move.
Well, I mean, Xavier Simpson there, a little hook layup.
71-68, Farley now drives. Gives it up to a backdoor cutter, and Chisholm, a nice pass from Farley. Chisholm gets to the rim for 2.
And he's playing a fantastic game, causing problems everywhere he resides on the court.
71-70, Gurley now with it. As Gurley's going to take a screen here from Parker. Now Gurley with the behind-the-back move, gets into the paint, draws the whistle. Holy moly, Colin Gurley. There was no space there, but what a move. Gets to the rim, and he's going to head to the line for 2.
Yeah, I called that one all body, forced him straight to the rim, but you see how hard they're playing him to hit that step-back 3. It creates the easiest drive in the world for him. One crossover step, beats him by 1 step to the paint, uses that left real nice, gets the foul, go to the free throw line. That's something he does so well, is create a presence on the outside perimeter, and you just have to play it so strong as you can hit it from 30 feet that it makes him driving in the paint so easy.
His first free throw is up and good there for Colin. That foul was on Chisholm. That's going to be his 3rd, and double bonus the rest of the way now for Mount Union. As Gavin Heimlich checks back in here now for the Quakers. Colin Gurley's second free throw is up and good. He's got 15 points now. Second leading scorer behind Christian Parker, who has 18. As Elijah Caffey checks back in now for Wilmington. He too playing with 4 fouls right now. So Dominic Farley now brings it up the floor. Defended closely here by Steele. Gives it up to Akram. Akram now gives it over to Miles. Right back to Farley. Farley now. About 12 on the shot clock. Gives it over to Heimlich. Gives it up to a backdoor cutter in Farley, and Farley to the rim for the easy 2. 73-72 Mount Union. Still anybody's ball game here with 6:26 left to go. Gurley now steps back into another 3. Front of the rim, no good. Fight for the rebound. Wilmington comes away with it. Carson Miles now with it. Down low inside to Caffey. Caffey looking to go to work here, bodying up Colin Gurley. Gurley though with some nice defense, forced him to pick up his dribble. Kicks it out to Farley. Farley now. We'll just dribble out some time on the clock here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. As he looks to drive on Newsom. Gets to the rim. Cut off though by Durrell. Has it stripped away. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Needs to get a shot up here. Pump fakes. Has it blocked by Newsom. That's why Durrell Newsom is the best defender the Purple Raiders have. My oh my, Durrell. What a play.
He's got the speed and he's got the length to be an absolute elite defender. He's a fantastic scorer on the offensive end too, but that's where this team extremely values him, is when somebody on the other team is absolutely going off or really causing problems. You throw Durrell Newsom on them, contain him.
As Durrell Newsom once again showing why he's such an elite defender.
They say call him animal control.
He's down low inside. They go to Christian Parker. He draws the double team. Now kicks it out to Jaleel Graham. He steps into an open 3. Can't quite get it to go. It's just been one of those nights for Mount Union from downtown. Dominic Farley now looks to drive here on Graham. Goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Heimlich tried to come up with the rebound, but Christian Parker ripped it out of his hands and gets it over to Graham. Jaleel Graham now looks to drive coast to coast. Now pulls it back out, gives it up to a cutter in Christian Parker. His floater's no good. What a pass. Great execution. Just couldn't finish. 5 minutes left to go here. 1 point Mount Union leads, 73-72.
Coming down to the wire here in Alliance.
Dominic Farley takes a screen here from Heimlich. Looks to drive, picks up his dribble now. Just able to get it over to Caffey. Caffey now, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Needs to get a shot up here with 2 seconds. Fires up the shot. Whistle, and it's a traveling violation. The Raider defense has been strong these past couple of possessions. They forced another turnover.
I was almost... The screen looked legal from a set standpoint, but, you know, you give that one little lean with your knee, and they're calling it, and boy, Newsom took a hit on that one. And this game is starting to get physical. One thing I want to highlight while we're walking these last 4 minutes that I think is going to really dictate the end of this game, the foul differential in the second half. Mount Union has 3 fouls. Wilmington has 10 plus already in the double bonus. For those of you at home that don't know what that means any time that the Wilmington Quakers foul in an open area on a fast break, anything without a shot, it is automatic 2 free throws. Mount Union can foul as much as they'd like without it being a shooting foul. and send them to the sideline versus the free throw line. In the last 4 minutes, there's nothing bigger than getting free points at the free throw line. So, huge advantage for Mount Union as they continue to attack the rim and create chaos in the Quaker defense.
Found out the Purple Raiders have been 18 for 25 from the free throw line tonight. 72%, pretty respectable, but like to see them hit some free throws down the stretch. Wilmington 9 for 11, but Mount Union, they've been getting some good looks at three-pointers. They're 3 for 16 overall. Colin Gurley's 3 for 8 by himself. The rest of the team just 0 for 8 here tonight. It's just been a struggle, but Mount Union, they keep getting those open threes. You'd love to see some of them fall down here down the stretch.
I mean, even when you're shooting as poorly as they are from deep, you can't not help but pass up good looks. I mean, you get a wide open three, you're going to shoot it. You know, that might be your, all right, here we go. Here's how you turn on the microwave really quick. But, you know, that's why you got guys like Colin Gurley. When the whole team's 0 for 9 from the three-point line, you know, he's 3 for 5. He's doing what he needs to do, and you know, Christian Parker's been battling some foul trouble tonight. We've seen production from him, but he's been on the bench a lot more than we'd like him to be, so there's no 30-point games running around, so we're in a tight one here with the Quakers.
So Jaleel Graham gives it over to Lawrence, who checked in out of the timeout, gives it up to Parker down low inside, can't quite get it to go, but Caleb Lawrence gets the putback. He's got 11 points, 9 rebounds tonight.
The rebound differential in the second half is night and day.
75-72 Mount Union has Farley now. He steps into a wide open three. It's too strong, no good. Lawrence now with the double-double, 11 points, 10 boards. It's Colin Gurley now with it. He's defended by Jaden Lewis. Gives it up top in the high post to Lawrence. Lawrence now over to Jaleel Graham. Graham down low inside to Christian Parker. Parker fires up the mid-range off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound Dominic Farley. Farley pushing the pace, swings it over in the corner. That one's off the front of the rim, no good from Lewis. Offensive rebound to Heimlich though. Gets it to go, 1-point ball game, 75-74. Jaleel Graham will just slow things down here for the Purple Raiders, as he looks to give it over to Lawrence in the high post. Gives it right back to Jaleel. Jaleel now looks to drive, draws the whistle. Foul going on Dominic Farley, his third, and Jaleel Graham to the line now for 2.
There's another one we were just talking about, you know. Baseline foul, he's just driving, little arm bar. And look, he's got 2 free throws to shoot, send them back up 3 points with 3 minutes left. This is going to be such an advantage.
Graham's a 78% free throw shooter, gets the first one to go. 76-74, 7 points now for the freshman off the bench. Big free throw upcoming here. Chisholm will check back in now for Wilmington. Raiders on top by 2, but they would love to be on top by a 3-point field goal. They will indeed. Jaleel Graham hits them both, 77-74.
Are you watching what they're doing Mount Union's defense-wise against Dominic Farley? The double teams off the screens. I love that call from Mike Fila.
As Farley looks to drive, he's going to draw the whistle on Graham. Jaleel's going to be called for his 3rd personal foul, 4th team foul, so the Raiders still with about 3 fouls left before Wilmington will be in the bonus. It's here off the inbound, it will be to Farley. Farley now gives it over to Lewis, right back to Farley. He's got the mismatch here on Lowrich. Farley looks to drive, fires up the well-contested shot. Great defense by Caleb. Forces the miss there. Out of bounds it goes. Purple Raider basketball.
That's a tough dude to get a fadeaway over. I'm going to tell you that, especially at his size, you know. He's standing up at 5'11", and he just shot that over 6'7". So, tough shot for him, but, you know, he's the one provided right now.
Gurley now with it on the perimeter. Takes a screen from Lowrich, goes behind the back. Now fires up the shot. Front of the rim, it's good. Colin Gurley's got the shooter's touch. He's got 17. It's 79-74. Farley now with it. Takes a screen from Heimlich. Now looking to drive, swings it over to Chisholm on the perimeter. Chisholm will be defended here by Gurley. Feeds it down low inside to Heimlich. Heimlich looking to go to work on Lowrich, but he rejects it. Caleb Lowrich, a big-time block. He has been huge this second half.
Especially Christian Parker been in foul trouble a little bit. He is really providing a spark on defense. Not only that, on the offensive rebound spectrum too.
So here off the inbound, they'll get it to Chisholm. Approaching 2 minutes left to go here in this one. Chisholm now swings it out up top to Akram. Akram over to Farley. He steps into a three, no good. Rebound Christian Parker. The Purple Raiders can try to slow things down here if they'd like. They have a 5-point lead with less than 2 to go. Gurley now looks to drive. Goes up with the layup. Can't quite get it to go. Rebound to Lewis. Farley will come with it the other way. Takes a screen from Heimlich. Thought about the three, now instead drives into the paint. Goes up with the layup. Gets it to go. Caleb Farley makes it 79-76. Correction, Dominic Farley, my apologies there. Timeout will be called by Micah Mills. Wilmington will talk things over with 1:33 left to go.
And 22 points for number 30 on the Quaker side of the ball. We are seeing one heck of a battle. And, you know, this has kind of come down to who can not turn the ball over enough. And I know for a fact that Mount Union's winning that turnover battle at the moment. And I was critical of that press early. But we've kind of turned it around here on the offensive side, and it's been forcing turnovers for the Quakers. And so I think late in this game, you're up 3, minute 33. I like the press idea now. I'm with it, and force Wilmington to keep making mistakes and keep forcing turnovers. And Mount Union will have this secured, especially you get one missed shot from the Quakers in the bucket, or they're gonna have to foul here real soon. You're in that double bonus already, and I mean, you come down to the strategy. If it's 10 seconds left, and this is the great part about this. You're up 3. You can just foul.
Yep.
You wanna no threes here. You can go to free throw line and shoot 2, and we're gonna have a 1-point lead.
As we'll see what both teams are going to draw out of the timeout. Again, Wilmington 10 fouls overall here, so Mount Union will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. But like how BK mentioned right there, Mount Union just has 4 fouls right now, so they can afford to foul Wilmington a couple times here before they head into the bonus. So it'll be interesting to see the strategy here down the stretch. I completely agree there.
That's what I was thinking about, apply that press again. You get fouled, or you end up fouling somebody, really being aggressive, going for a steal. Big deal. Let them take it out on the sideline. You got 2 more to give. Keep going for it. I think Mount Union needs to be insanely aggressive on this defensive end, especially if they come down here with 1:33 and score a quick bucket. You go up 5. You should be so aggressive on that press.
So the Quakers have their starting 5 of Obed Akram, Jaden Lewis, Rashid Chisholm, Gavin Heimlich, and Dominic Farley out on the floor. Purple Raiders with Jaleel Graham, Marcus Steele, Colin Gurley, Darrell Newsom, and Christian Parker. Graham picks up his dribble, now gives it over to Gurley. It's Marcus Steele now with it. Picks up his dribble, swings it over here to Newsom. Newsom now up top to Gurley. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Colin Gurley as he looks to go to work. Nearly has it taken away. Gives it over to Graham. He steps into a 3. That's no good.
Well, good.
Rebound Dominic Farley. 1:02 left to go here at the MAC. A 3 will tie it. A 2 will cut the deficit to 1.
See if they hedge these screens to force the 2 ball instead of the 3.
Farley with a nice crossover gets to the rim for 2. And it's a 1-point Mount Union lead. 49 seconds left to go. 79-78. Raiders need a bucket. Quakers need a stop. And a whistle, timeout for Few Line. Mount Union will have 41.7 seconds remaining in this one. 23 seconds on the shot clock. And they will need to execute here out of the timeout as they try to get some more points on the board. Go ahead, BK.
I'm sorry, I was just going to ask you a question. If you're Mike Feline here, are you not doubling him? Dominic Farley, I'm getting the ball out of his hands. I'm not saying that they don't got any other guys to do it, but I'm saying force that other guy to do it. You know what I mean? Dominic Farley's clearly proven he will do it. Force somebody else Force somebody else's shot to fall. Force somebody else to make a play on the ball. Because Farley right now is feeling as confident as ever. He's gotten the last 3-4 buckets in a row. He's making really solid decisions, making really good moves. He's calm with the basketball. Now you're at the point where you're like, all right, we need to get the ball out of his hands. I would send Colin Gurley and Darnell Newsome on a quick little double team, force some turnovers. He's not the biggest individual, so he's going to have to get passes over the top, which is where you're going to force turnovers with bigger guys like Christian Parker or Darnell Newsome at the helm. Long arms are going to get some deflections in there. That's how I think Mike Phelan's talking about. They're going to get a quick bucket down here, get it inside. I guarantee you they're thinking we're going to find a matchup to Christian Parker down low, get a quick bucket, go up 3, and then I'm double teaming Dominic Farley on this other end and making somebody else hit that 3 ball. Or 2, whichever it might be. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you still got 3 fouls to give. You know, I'm making them earn it.
Caleb Lawrence checks back in now for the Purple Raiders as Jaleel Graham has it. 40 seconds left to go in this one. So we'll see what the Raiders drew up out of the timeout. Graham now swings it over up top to Gurley. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Gurley looks to drive, fires up the shot. Can't quite get it to go. Newsome fights for the rebound. Tipped out of bounds off his fingertips. 23.6 seconds left to go. Wilmington has it with a chance to take the lead. Coach Phelan will take a timeout here now for Mount Union as they'll look to discuss things here and try to come up with one more defensive stop.
I can't say I hate the shot from Colin Gurley. I actually love the shot from Colin Gurley. However, I don't like to see a Christian Parker look for the block, but, you know, this is where it all comes down to it. You know, you're Mount Union, you pride yourself on defense. Take the ball out of his hands. There's no other play. Dominic Farley, 24 points in this game. He is finishing at the rim. He's finishing from the three-point line. I'll say it now and I'll say it again. Double team him. Make somebody else beat you. It's your best choice of option.
Without a doubt, as really Mount Union using this timeout to get set in their defense. Wilmington getting set in their offense now. This is going to be an interesting strategy. If you're Wilmington, are you just going for the best shot available, maybe give Mount Union some time left on the clock, or are you trying to kind of kill some time off the clock, make sure Mount Union doesn't get an opportunity if indeed you make the shot and Mount Union can come back? What are you thinking?
I'm telling you, they are going to go all or nothing. This is going to be making the shot winning or missing the shot losing the game. They're not giving Mount Union any kind of second chances.
Let's see what they draw up here. Dominic Farley has it with 19 seconds remaining. He's defended by Jaleel Graham wisely. The Purple Raiders will use one of those fouls with 17 seconds left to go. Farley is fouled. Jaleel will pick up his fourth personal foul, 15th foul of the half.
This is the time to get aggressive right here. Force them into something they don't want. Base guard him. Do not let him touch the ball.
He will indeed get it. Dominic Farley, 12 seconds remain. Gives it over to Lewis. Lewis nearly had it taken away by Newsome. Gets behind Durrell now. Fires up the mid-range shot from the elbow, and he got it to go. Jaden Lewis with 5 seconds left makes it 80-79 Wilmington. After the play, Obed Akram and Durrell Newsome seemingly collided. They're both down on the ground. Akram gets up first. Now Durrell does. And with 5.4 seconds remaining, Akram's going to go over to the bench. And Durrell seemingly will as well. They both just kind of collided right there. But man, we said it. You had to get the ball out of Dominic Farley's hands. They get it out of his hands, into the hands of Jaden Lewis. And Jaden Lewis hits the mid-range shot, a clutch bucket. Mount Union's got 5 seconds remaining now to try to pull off this victory.
I gotta say, if I'm Mount Union, you did everything you were supposed to do. That you gotta tip your cap sometimes. He hit a tough running floater from 20 feet. And, I mean, absolutely nothing but nylon, as you said earlier. And you just gotta tip your cap to him. That's one heck of a shot, one heck of a play. And you know, At least if you're Mount Union, you did your job. You forced the shot early. You got 5 seconds to go down and score. You got 2 of the best scorers in the OAC on your team. You should not be panicking at all. You should be going, you know what, I'm glad we got the ball now. I'd rather be the one down 1 with the ball than having to defend up 1 with or without the ball. So, you know, if you're Mike Phelan, you got superior confidence in your veteran squad to go in there. You got 5.4 seconds. That's plenty of time. Catch, screen, make a play off the pick and roll. Somebody's got to hit a shot. Who you got taking the last shot?
Colin Gurley's been red hot. I would think there might be going his way. You can never go wrong with trying to feed it down low to Christian Parker, maybe on a quick little fast break type thing. I think Gurley's probably the way to go. I know he's shooting just 5 for 14 tonight, but he's hit a bunch of clutch shots in his time here at Mount Union. He's hit all 3 3-pointers. We'll see what they draw up, though.
You just never know when Colin Gurley's going to spark it up. He heats up real quick on the basketball floor, and inside, outside, mid-range, he'll hit it all. And he loves those fadeaways, which is exactly what this situation calls for. We're going to get a press from the Quakers.
As it will be Darrell Newsom, Christian Parker, Colin Gurley, Marcus Steele, and Jaleel Graham for the Purple Raiders. 5.4 seconds need to go the length of the court. Graham slid and fell, though, and lost the ball. With 4.2 seconds left to go, the Raiders turn it over. And it will be Wilmington basketball. What a bizarre turn of events right there. It looked like Graham kind of just slid on some sweat that might have been on the court, and then he lost the handle, and as a result, the Quakers have it, and Mount Union's going to have to do 2 quick fouls here.
Now this is a point where the fouls are against them now.
Look to inbound it here, and Graham lost his footing again. Farley has it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. They're going to dribble out the clock, and Wilmington, they come to Alliance, Ohio, and pull off the major upset. 80-79, the Purple Raiders are going to drop their first game of the season.
That's kind of a tough event. You know, you were down all game, finally battled back the last 5 minutes or so, and you know, you got it. Kind of forced up some ill-advised shots in the last minute or so. You got all those fouls to give, and you don't get aggressive. You do what you need to do and get the ball out of. You do what you need to do and get it out of Dominic Farley's hands, and they hit a tough shot, and then, I mean, what an unfortunate event on the inbound. You go to catch the ball, and both your feet slide out from underneath you, and, you know, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Wilmington played one heck of a game, shot really well from deep, controlled the rebound battle, limited turnovers, although they were getting pressed all game, and, you know, good team came in on the road, and sometimes when you're Mount Union and you shoot 18% from the three-point line, it's really hard to pull out of some of these games. So you got to tip your cap to the Wilmington Quakers.
A big-time upset here. After both teams are heading to the locker room now, there's a bit of a skirmish right now going over there by the Wilmington bench, but it looks like all the players are okay and all the fans are okay, so that's good right there. But it's a long season, BK. Mount Union, you knew they weren't going to go undefeated all season long. It's tough to do in college basketball. 5-1, though, they dropped their OAC opener. Mount Union's going to be next in action on Wednesday, where they travel to Muskingum, where they're going to look to right the ship as hard-fought battle, but the Purple Raiders are going to fall here. 80-79, Jaden Lewis hits the game winner tonight for Wilmington. But Mount Union, they will look to bounce back. They will now drop to 5-1 on the season. So we'll sign off here from the MAC. My name is Jacob Batar, signing off for my partner BK as well, as the Purple Raiders fall here today, 80-79.